robust urban garlic flavor.
This video is dedicated to DSP not wanting to stream on the 9th anniversary of him jerking off on camera because he is a man.
Salt.
Because typically a week for me runs Sunday through Friday.
The oddest thing Phil does with his streaming schedule is that he never really streams on Saturday, which is odd because you think that the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, would be the prime streaming times for him. Like, he says he wants new viewers, but you're not gonna get new viewers by streaming Monday afternoon.
If you're wondering why this was my final streaming day of the week, it's just scheduling. Like,
just happened that May 1st occurred on a Thursday this year, so I'm not going to be streaming on the anniversary because I don't want to deal with all the troll tips.
It's an oddball situation. I have to have a Thursday off. And because I need that Thursday off, it basically means that my week is really weird, right? Like, it is, let's be honest. This has been a very bizarre week of odd-lengthed stuff, right? Like, this week...
Yeah, that nervous laugh is a tell on himself. It always is. Like, here is the oddball situation. You're staring at it right in front of you. May 1st, 2016.
Even though, I'll be honest, we're not getting giant amounts of viewers for this game. We're not. On YouTube, we're getting between 150 to 200 viewers. On Kick, we're probably getting around 60 viewers, okay? So we're probably getting around 200 total viewers for the game. But people are very supportive for it, okay? We exceeded my first goal. We got to the point where it was almost like we hit almost 2 goals. I want to say we hit like $230 or something like that by the end of the stream, which is amazing.
At the end of the day, Phil really doesn't care who's watching or how many people are watching. It's about the money, which is obvious for any streamer, but Phil is just built around not building an audience. He's built around sucking all the cash that the few people who watch him have. So it's like, whale on me. As long as the whale likes the stuff and donates, he doesn't care. He will watch paint dry if a whale donates $200 to see it.
So thank you guys who were there. I know there is an audience for Expedition 33. The thing is, because it's a turn-based RPG, it's not a ginormous, dominant mainstream audience. But there is an audience for it that is enjoying it. I'm one of them. I'm one of the people who's thoroughly enjoying this game and want to keep playing it. So I will for now, and I hope that it does continue to get support, okay?
You think after like years of being a streamer that Phil would understand this? It's not about the game. It's about the streamer. He thinks that the games propel his audience into viewing him and supporting his content. No, it's him. That's why PWR, who's playing a Donkey Kong game from like 30 years ago, is getting more viewership than he is right now. Because he is interacting and engaging with his fans, while Phil is just being, oh, I gotta stick to the schedule or whatever. Nobody cares, Phil. Nobody cares about anything that you're talking about in your daily raps.
You may have noticed what we were doing tonight in the setup.
Were you using that as a masturbatory aid, Philip?
Tonight on the late stream, it was Build with Phil, the second half of the Lego Piranha Plant build.
Let's build with Phil, where he spends the whole stream staring at Legos instead of talking with his chat and wondering why he doesn't get enough support.
And as you can see, it was very fun. We actually got it all done tonight. This is the Piranha Plant. It is adjustable and maneuverable. You can move the head around to do different expressions.
Okay, Phil, thank you for showing off your giant adjustable dildo.
You can actually have the mouth be opened or closed, depending on how you want it to look. You can simulate original Super Mario Brothers and actually like open his mouth all the way so it looks like Mario's jumping over. You can bite him in the butt.
Eating ass is a standard affair on this channel.
Okay? It's a pretty cool one. I'll be honest, it's not as tight or secure as some other Legos that I've done.
Tight and secure? What the hell are you talking about? Like, seriously, he's talking about reviewing a sex toy, basically. Yeah, Cat needs one of those Piranha Plant sex toys.
It feels a little on the looser side, but I think they kind of intended it to be that way so it's more maneuverable. I do like how it looks, and it fits perfectly
on the May 1st burst cabinet
into my background. And so that will be part of my background for the month of May. I don't know where it's going to be. If it's going to stay there, if it's going to go to this side, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to think about it, and I'll put it somewhere. It'll look good. Rest assured, no matter where it ends up, it's going to look good in May.
He legitimately thinks that someone is going to come in and give him hundreds of dollars just because he has a piranha plant on his desk.
I had a great time building Legos. Over the month of February into early March, we did this Lego succulent set, and that was 3 whole streams, all of which were supported and hit the goals. Then I built a Lego Minecraft set that was back here over the month of April during my birthday marathon, and that was one of the most well-supported things that I've ever done, okay? I told you guys, if people show up, engage, and support for Lego nights, for the Piranha Plant, and it was only 2 nights for the record, only 2 streams, we would lock in and I would 100% commit to doing another Lego, okay? We didn't hit the goal tonight. We didn't even get halfway to the goal.
Oh, time to smash the piranha plant. It's over for the Legos.
And in fact, there was a bunch of troll tips from an idiot who was doing dollar tip, who's already charged me back for the dollar tips because he's an idiot. You know, he was only doing it to be a dick. He saw that we weren't getting the support. He's like, I'll just distract Phil with a bunch of dollar tips. And then he charged them all back.
And that is a day in the life of Philip Paul Burnell.
So in reality, we probably only did around $60 of support tonight, okay? Truth is, the audience that was here was pretty engaged. We had some good conversation. I really enjoyed talking with everyone and hanging out with everyone while I was also building the Piranha Plant. I think the Piranha Plant looks great. And what I was telling everyone was that if we hit the goal, what I was eyeballing was either like another video game related one, maybe another Mario one for the launch of the Switch, or a Mario Kart related one. They actually do have various Mario Kart related ones, like there's a Donkey Kong and stuff like that. But also, I was thinking there's a new one that they just announced. Now, it's expensive as hell. It's $170, but it's a giant Mario on a giant Mario Kart. It's 1,500 pieces, so it's 3 times as many pieces as this guy. So you can imagine how big it would be, like my whole backdrop, right? And I thought it would be perfect. I thought, oh, this would be great because this will be a good setup for Mario Kart coming out in early June with the Switch 2.
Well, she's got $10 in here, and it cost me $900 for the 6 weeks of unicycle lessons. So we're a little in the red right now, but you gotta spend money to make money, champ. Moving on.
It didn't convince anyone, all right? And it's funny because people are like, well, why don't you keep doing Legos? Well, I probably will, but it's not going to be on stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, I probably will continue to do some Legos. And maybe I'll do some Legos with my wife, right? You know, maybe I could do it that way. But when I try to consider what is it that I'm going to do on a stream.
Welcome to the business meeting with Philip Paul Burnell, the thing nobody wants to hear about, but he will bitch about endlessly. So, he's not doing Legos anymore because he's giving up because 2 streams weren't as productive as he thought they were going to be. This is Phil all the time. If he has an idea and it's not getting instant gratification, he is going to stop it. Like, he doesn't realize that it's whether a whale likes it or not. Well, he probably does. And the whale didn't like it this time, so apparently it's done for Legos. Because Only Iced Coffee didn't come in and tip $150. What Phil has never gotten about being an entertainer is that part of it is failing and learning from things and basically trying again to see what works. Like, you have to be consistent, you have to put out enough for it to cultivate an audience. Like, it's not one and done. If it's one and doesn't work, that doesn't really mean anything. You have to do it multiple times, and Phil doesn't get the algorithm. Like, it cultivates doing the same thing over and over and over again. But here's the thing, Phil is so outside the algorithm because he doesn't even try to do it. He just uploads random crap that nobody wants to watch. That it's basically whether the whales like it or not, and he needs to understand if his whales like it or not. And apparently the whales didn't like it this time, or they were just not watching the stream for whatever reason, like they were on vacation or something. That's Phil's stupid business model. And that's why he sucks at everything, because he has no passion for anything except for getting money.
It has to satisfy 3 criteria. I just did 4. 3 criteria. Criteria number 1 is, will people actually just show up for it?
Which you're seeing this year less and less people than ever before because you think it's about the content, like what you're physically doing, rather than your personality.
Criteria number 2 is, despite the fact that people showed up, will they engage? Will they talk with me? Will they like the stream? Will they watch the videos after the fact? Will they like the videos? Will they leave comments? Because that's all important.
No, it's about whether he gets money or not. It's that plain and simple. He could have 20,000 people watching him. If he only gets $50 in support, he's going to stop. That's Phil. And the thing is, I don't understand what he gets with his watching the videos afterwards, because 1, he privates them and he just uploads clips. So the people that already watch the streams aren't going to watch an hour-long playthrough again. And that's why you only get like 500 viewers. Like if you left your live streams up, you'd have like 6,000 to 9,000 people. Well, nowadays it'd probably be like 4 to 6. Because you're barely cracking 200 most days.
To successful content on the internet. And then the third factor, will they support it? Okay?
Ding, 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 ding. No, let's get real. That is the one and only factor.
I told everyone way ahead of time. I hope that no one's disappointed. I said just show up, engage and support with the Lego content. I'm happy to continue doing it because some of the builds I want to do, notably this Mario Kart build, is going to be really pricey. I need it to be supported. And it didn't happen.
Gee, it's funny how that happened. It's almost like pressuring your audience to donate is not a good business model. Maybe if you interacted with your fans more, you would have more fans that would be willing to give you money, except relying on Only Iced Coffee to come in and save the day. And apparently Only Iced Coffee was getting coffee or something. So yeah, the Piranha Plant fails because Only Iced Coffee couldn't hit the goal. No Legos for everybody because of Phil. And then Phil is going to blame all his fans for this. It's his fans' fault. It's not Phil.
Okay? So, it is what it is. Piranha Plant, for now, will be my final Lego build. Maybe someone will convince me otherwise.
Notice how he says someone instead of something like you all? That's because it's one person. It's the pay pig. It's the one whale. If they don't want to see Legos, Phil's not going to do Legos because Phil makes curated content for 1 to 3 whales. That's all. And Phil is basically just guilting everybody and bitching because this one whale didn't come and support him because Phil's not smart enough to understand that small donations add up.
You know, there's always a chance. I always want to say to people, even though maybe I've come to a determination or whatever, there's always a chance. There's always a chance that things could change or turn around. My attitude could flip. Someone convinces me. Sometimes people actually support after the fact. I've seen that, right? Like, people can't be there for the stream, but they're upset because they really like it. So then days later, they support and say, hey, you know, this was for that. Can you still do it?
Yeah, this is him begging. He's going full out beg mode. He's like, wait, I'm not making money off this Piranha Plant. I gotta beg harder. I gotta guilt people the daily rap because I couldn't guilt people enough on stream. It's just guilt until I get money. That's how it is. Beg, beg, guilt, guilt, beg.
I don't know. I don't foresee that happening. I think that the Lego idea was an interesting idea because it broke up my normal content of gameplay, 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 gameplay.
Wrong, Phil. Your normal content is staring at the screen and begging for money.
But much like what has happened with Smart Guys, the initial idea of seeing me do something different works, but when it becomes a more regular thing, it doesn't feel special anymore.
Hey, Dumbo, Smart Guys only worked because people knew that PPP was going to expose your ass for doing stupid things. Like you showed your underwear and socks for whatever reason. Like, yeah, it made a total joke of you. That's why people like Smart Guys. That was the whole point. It was the Laugh at Phil show. You don't want to do the Laugh at Phil show. You want to do the staring at a paint wall dry. That's what you want to do. You don't want to do entertaining shit. You just want to beg.
Since this is the third Lego I've built this year, since I've now spent so many streams doing it, people aren't that excited for it anymore. Even though, arguably, I think this is the best Lego build I've done. I really like how the Piranha Plant looks.
Well, here's the thing. There's always going to be a drop-off like you see with Phil. Like, by the time he gets to part 20, nobody's watching anymore. But the thing is, if it's after 3 streams, it means that the person doing it is not entertaining. You gotta diversify, you gotta innovate, and Phil doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to interact, he doesn't want to be entertaining. He just expects it to instantly work. And when it doesn't work, he flips the table.
I just don't think anyone's like, wow, this is cool anymore, right? You already saw me do these multiple times. You know what it's going to be. And it's not really interesting except for the hardcore, let's chill with Phil style audience.
Which even that makes no sense because the hardcore let's chill with Phil audience did not show up today. They did not wail out on this, which is what Phil's talking about. Phil, you just suck at everything. You're just trying to cope and trying to explain, like, wait, the Legos are bad. It's not me, it's the Legos' fault. This is just a whole coping session and you're trying to squeeze and beg more money out of it. It's pathetic.
Smart Guys was the same. People wanted to see me have a show where I interact with someone else while talking about pro wrestling. It worked for around 4 months, and then the interest waned.
No, Phil, Smart Guys failed because you let it fail because you had enough of PPP calling your wife fat after the Tractors called it out. The thing is, it wouldn't have been interesting with anybody else because you would just say, oh, I'm done after 1 stream of them calling you out for your bullshit. Nobody wants to watch you, Phil. They just want to see you rage and beg and be held to task for all the stupid scams you've done over the years.
So it's kind of the same deal. If you haven't been paying attention to my podcast recently, someone had an interesting idea. Instead of me doing all these dedicated shows to new ideas, instead, I might start doing an actual variety show.
That is such a fucking stupid idea for Phil because he's too, I don't want to use a certain word, but he's too regimented to move things off on the fly. Because he'll be like, oh, it's 8:15, I gotta do this. It's 8:17, I gotta do this. No, you just gotta go with what your audience wants you to do and feel the flow. He never feels the flow. He's just an idiot that has to stream for 3 hours every day because that's what his plan is. It's so stupid. Like, him doing a variety show would be a disaster because he wouldn't be able to handle it. He'd be like, oh, I have to transition, and it will take him 45 minutes to transit from one place to another. It's stupid.
You know how I do variety gameplay and it works? What if I did a show where maybe I do it 2-3 times a month, maybe once a week. It's a day stream for the record, so it's the whole major stream. But I always do something different. 1 week, we actually talk and get caught up about pro wrestling and what's been going on. The next week, I have guests on the show, and they come in and we have conversations about life and gaming and all kinds of stuff via Discord. And then the next week, I do a Lego build while I chill with you guys and we relax. And then the next week, we do, you know what I'm saying? Now, we could have recurring topics, but it wouldn't always be the same thing. That way, it always feels like it's something fresh, it's something new, it's something different. And that way, people hopefully won't get burnt out on any of the ideas.
Oh my god, Phil's so fucking dumb. That's not a variety show, Phil. A variety show is when you do different things on one stream. You're just shifting topics. Which is what? You're a streamer. You're supposed to shift topics when your audience wants you to shift topics. This isn't rocket science. How long have you been fucking streaming and you don't fucking get this? You're such an idiot. This is why nobody has any interest in your streams, because you're not entertaining. This whole video is nonsense and not entertaining. It's just you guilting and begging and being an idiot and holding a stupid business meeting. Nobody wants to see a business meeting.
It could work. It could be successful. Maybe that's the way to go moving forward, because people always express they want to see me do some new stuff, but then once I do it for a while, they get tired of it. So maybe that's the key factor here. I don't know. All right?
No, the key factor is that the streamer has to be entertaining, and you are not entertaining, so you have to do all these stupid business meetings to convince your whales to give you money. And the whales aren't going to be there to save the day every single time. And then when they don't, you have to do this, and the cycle repeats again and again and again. And you'll be streaming when you're 3 people, because as long as there's only iced coffee there, or somebody of the same ilk, you'll be there to grab their piggy banks.
Let's start talking about it on Saturday. And in addition, on Saturday, like I said, when I come back on that podcast, we'll probably look at Borderlands 4 and more. When I come back, there'll be a new backdrop for the new month. That'll be exciting. All right, guys. So, currently at 42 out of 50 goals hit. When we hit 50 support goals, it's time for a marathon of viewers' choice, which you guys are nominating games for right now. The sooner we hit the sooner we can do the marathon. So, let's come back strong. A 7-day streaming week next week. Let's hit those goals right away. Let's get momentum. Let's get that marathon going as soon as possible.
Yeah, no joke. This guy wants $7,500 to do a marathon when he streams 6 hours of gameplay every day. It's crazy. Who's gonna want that? But people do it. Oh yeah, here's another fun thing. Here's what Phil was doing on his second day off. He was just banning people from his kick chat. Because he's like, oh, I gotta clean the gutters. They aren't paying me money, they're just trolls. And it's like, how long is it gonna take until the kick chat is gone? Now let's look at the 7 comments that were left for this video, because, you know, Phil has a wide, robust audience. And look, the gist of what they're telling him is that his whole fucking video that he just uploaded was stupid. It was just a stupid business meeting. Like, see, you don't have to hold the business meeting. You don't have to explain why you have certain days off. We all know it's because of May 1st, but who cares? And also, it's not about what you do. It's about how you interact with your audience. He does not get it. He is so thick-headed that he will die on this hill, and he thinks that the games will save the channel. It's not the games, Phil. It's you. People come for you. Like you did on May 1st. But you don't fundamentally understand it, and that's why you're struggling. Because 200 people for you is not a lot. It's a bunch of LARPers, Phil.